Welcome back. Back in the 1990s, you may remember this, the introduction of the V chip. It helped parents control what their kids were watching on television. The technology certainly caused an uproar over free speech issues. Well, now Apple is pursuing a similar concept for its iPhone to stop young people from sending inappropriate text messages to one another. Sexting, as it's known. So is this the V-chip debate all over again? Censorship, First Amendment and stuff. Let's bring in our legal panel. David Schwartz, former prosecutor and defense attorney. Vikki Ziegler is a trial attorney. David, if it weren't involving children, I could understand First Amendment censorship problems. But look, it's the job of parents to censor the content of what their children send and receive.
Yeah, first of all, when you make the First Amendment argument, there is no First Amendment argument here. There is no government controlling the texting or the sexting.
Right.
But then when you take it down one step lower, it's a company that has a new technology. They have got a patent right now for that technology, and it's going to stop a lot of the sexting that's going on that parents don't want. So if you buy your child a phone and you don't want this type of language going back and forth, now the parents finally have parental control.
Right.
It has nothing to do with First Amendment.
Vikki?
Well, I believe that parents have an affirmative duty to see what their children are doing, and I don't have a problem with them monitoring text messaging. The problem with the patent, as I see it, is it's a form of censorship when you're changing children's words. We're about freedom of thinkers. These children are going to say, I want to go to the store to do X, and all of a sudden this program is going to say, no, 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 you don't want to do X, you want to do Y. I have a real problem with that. And because the patent agency is an arm of the government, I think there is a First Amendment issue that should not be abridged. We need freedom of thinkers. We need children to be able to say and do what they want to do to a certain degree.
This is the government approving the patent that allows the censorship.
Yeah, but it's not the government controlling the words that are being said. The government is approving a patent. Well, no, they're sanctioning the technology, which would allow the parents at that point to stop the children from sending those inappropriate messages. It's certainly not a government agency doing that.
Well, the problem really is, or what are we trying to stop here? We're trying to make sure that cyberbullying doesn't happen and these picture messages that are being sent around. I think that's really the aim here. It's not really necessary the vulgarity that are being used by children, which we don't approve of. It's a parental responsibility, but I think there's a bigger epidemic here that we need to focus on.
And it's such a huge problem today. Cyberbullying is a huge problem in our society, and certainly the framers of the Constitution could not even imagine what would be happening, the technology and the cyberbullying that's going on
I want
today.
to get back to that in just a moment, the cyberbullying, because there's an important case going on in New Hampshire right now. But I want to extend the patent argument here. What if this new Apple patent, which censors the sexting, is extended beyond the parent-child relationship? Here's what John Dvorak, a columnist with PCMagazine.com, wrote. This patent is not about sexting. Put this up on the screen. It's not about sexting. It's about political speech. Apple wants its phone in Iran, China, Saudi Arabia, and other parts of the world where political dissent is a crime. Over the years, it has become apparent that the mobile phone is a tool for revolutionaries. It could be used for censorship outside the United States, but of course those countries don't abide by what we call the American Constitution.
Absolutely. I mean, we can't control what other countries are going to do with the technology. So to take it that one step further, certainly you have to balance the equities. What's more important, protecting our children, parents having the right to control this type of inappropriate behavior that's going on, or we're going to be worrying about revolution in Iran.
And let's say that Iran and China and so forth do use this patent for censorship purposes. It's not Apple's job to get into political or philosophical arguments. Their job is to grow their business and earn profits.
And they are doing that, certainly. And I definitely think the underbelly is about freedom of expression. That's my problem, because if we start censoring text messaging words now with children, adults can do it, and then it could become a real problem in the future.
Back to the issue of sexting and bullying among kids and so forth. There's a New Hampshire case in which an 18-year-old kid was sexting a 15-year-old girl. And, I mean, explicit photographs were exchanged back and forth. He was trying to blackmail her into some things I don't even want to get into. He got busted, and he's now being charged with 6 or 7 different felonies, child endangerment, attempted aggravated sexual assault, all kinds of stuff. Do law enforcement need to get more involved in prosecuting harassment and child endangerment sexting cases.
I think what's happening here is, and this happens throughout, a lot of times the laws cannot keep up with the technology. So we have this whole internet universe, and we have all kinds of problems with cyberbullying and sexting and all this stuff, and we don't have the legislature, whether it's the state or on the federal level, they can't keep up with it. So certainly law enforcement has to take the laws which are already on the books and charge individuals who are guilty of inappropriate
Vikki,
use.
there's a lot of lewd and lascivious behavior going on in sexting, and it's young kids.
Oh, it really is. But child pornography laws were really made for those deviant people, not young girls that are taking pictures of themselves and boys and sending them to their boyfriend or girlfriend. Right now, they're actual felonies in most states throughout the country, and if convicted, they have to register as sex offenders. Those are serious ramifications for these children. You know, it has to fit the crime.
It's a
I believe
tough thing.
it is.
It is 18 and 15.
And it's very sensitive, but I think we have to move along with technology, as David said, and I think we have to really fit the punishment. Misdemeanors versus felonies, I mean, punishable by what type of crime, probation, education. That's really the key about teaching our young children not to do these things.
The Apple patent may be welcome for many parents across America worried about their kids, but what it does not cover, however, are explicit photographs. Maybe that's to come. Vikki Ziegler, David Schwartz, good to see you both.
Greg.
Tough issue. Thanks.
Well,